Tragedy is not a glitch in the human experience. Rather, it is a guaranteed, built-in feature of life. The Quran names these trials specifically: sudden spikes of fear, the gnawing ache of hunger, and the loss of wealth, lives, and the fruits of our labor. When these events hit, they act as a kinetic shock. They strike the nervous system with enough force to trigger an involuntary cascade, forcing the body into panic or complete paralysis. Human biology struggles to absorb the sheer weight of these existential blows without fracturing. The architect of this biological system anticipated this vulnerability and provided a highly specific intervention. Verses 153 through 167 provide a functional override for the nervous system's natural failure points. This framing treats the scripture as an active tool, designed to help the human system manage pressure that would otherwise be overwhelming. The text prescribes a two-part mechanical solution to manage the shock, the combination of prayer and sabr. Modern psychology often translates sabr as patience, an idea that suggests passive suffering or simply waiting for time to pass. In physics, sabr is an active, heavy-duty shock absorber. When a structure takes a massive kinetic impact, this mechanism dissipates the energy into a buffer zone. As the waves dampen, trauma is neutralized, leaving the core intact. Sabr is a dynamic force that intercepts the incoming shock before it can successfully overload the human nervous system. Intercepting the shock is only half of the solution. The second mechanism in these verses is prayer, which functions as a grounding wire for the nervous system. Prayer interrupts the mind's trauma loop by tethering human focus to a higher, immovable reality outside the immediate crisis. These two mechanisms have distinct roles. Prayer acts as the immovable anchor, holding the system in place, while sabr operates as the shield absorbing the impact. Together, these practices restore equilibrium to a mind and body under siege. Even with a shield and an anchor, the physical ache of grief and loss is a persistent reality. To process this lingering grief, the verses introduce a cognitive shift. The declaration, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." Indeed, we belong to Allah, and indeed, to Him we will return. This statement requires the total removal of the illusion of ownership. This map of ownership shows the logic. Viewing an asset as truly owned means its removal results in deprivation. Following path B, viewing our lives as stewardship funnels the outcome back to an origin source. This removes permanent deprivation, reframing loss as an inevitable transition. This realization converts a perceived theft into a predictable return to the original source. These verses acknowledge that fear and hunger are unavoidable components of life. They provide the internal structural integrity required to endure those realities. Through the physics of patience and the anchor of prayer, the forces of fear and loss do not break us. They carry us safely back to where we belong.